Hey,
All
what's
right.
up, everybody? Welcome to the YanBar Podcast. Bryan Barcelo hosted this episode. Today's guest, Vattel Cherry, is a bassist and composer for, make sure I got this right, Triangle Afrobeat Orchestra. Vattel, thank you so much
That's
for
right.
agreeing to do this podcast.
Oh, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
All right, let's cut to the chase. Triangle Afrobeat. Well, I'm not understand. I got the Afrobeat kind of in the orchestra. I got. What's the triangle aspect of it? If you don't mind saying.
So, we're in North Carolina, and there's part of this area called the Research Triangle. Um, and it involves the technology sector building up in Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill area. And there are two major universities there. Duke University is in Durham, and a few miles away in Chapel Hill is University of North Carolina.
Oh
And
wow.
so, yeah, and they're rivals, of course, in basketball, of course. Michael Jordan went to University of North Carolina, and like Grant Hill went to Duke, and Coach K just retired
Oh
last
man.
year. So
Mhm.
yeah, Lawrence Taylor went to UNC,
Oh
the great
wow.
linebacker. So yeah, a lot of heavy basketball around here. Not so much football, but yeah,
Mhm.
not so much baseball either. Uh, Minor league teams in almost every town in North Carolina.
Understood. You know, it's funny
But
you
anyway, back
mentioned.
to the question.
Oh, sorry.
The
Yes.
triangle is
Yeah.
about that's where we're from, the Raleigh Durham area. That's where we're
Mhm.
based from.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
funny that you mentioned basketball. I'm familiar with the Raleigh Durham area. My mom's lived in Raleigh, and they used to go play basketball up there in Durham. And then the courts up there was kind of close and stuff, you know.
Hmm.
I forgot about less than 8 miles, something like that. It was real close, just right up the street to go up there. But anyhow, how did you get involved with Afrobeat music? And if you don't mind, explain to our listeners and viewers, what is Afrobeat music? Uh-oh.
Afrobeat music. Let's see. Well, there was a man named Fela Kuti who is they say is the originator of Afrobeat, and it came out of a this is from Nigeria, and this music came out of what's called highlife, and basically it's sort of a circular thing. The Africans were trying to play basically James Brown music, R&B. And so there was a cross pollination. James Brown was influenced by Africa. Uh, the Africans were influenced by James Brown, and it sort of merged. There's a tribe called Yoruba. That's where Fela Kuti comes from. He mixed his folkloric music with James Brown, and it's dance music. It's protest music. Uh, Fella was harassed constantly for because he was making a point and making a difference with the people. He got harassed for uh, calling out corruption in the Nigerian government, and he was an Afro nationalist, I guess you would say, Afrocentric person. He wanted a united Africa. And so yeah, they had it in for him because he was disturbing the status quo. Of course,
Hmm.
he was
Understood.
messing with the higher ups, the upper classes' money.
Understood. I
So,
like when you say when you mentioned that James Brown was influenced by African music, and then African music turned around was influenced by James Brown. It's kind of like a
oh yeah,
musical circle of life thing there. That's pretty
yep,
cool. I
yeah,
like that. Let's see what
yeah,
else
yeah,
I
yeah.
have for you. Now you mentioned that Afrobeat was made of oh I know I should have wrote this down there. A couple of musics. One of them I wasn't familiar with. Which one you said Afrobeat consisted of?
Oh,
High
it
life,
came
high
from
life. I'm sorry, yeah.
highlife.
What
Mm-hmm.
is that? I'm not familiar with high life.
What is that?
Uh-oh, here we go again. Are they that close together
um,
to where they're interchangeable and hard to distinguish?
it's similar to, before Bob Marley got popular with reggae, there was this thing called rocksteady, and before that was ska. Um, and if you listen to Bob Marley talk, he'll tell you he was listening to American radio, and they were influenced by like Fats Domino and people like that. And so when he and Peter Tosh and Buddy Whaler got together, they were singing harmonies and trying to be like a doo-wop group. And then the music changed, and also was a protest music, and it got harder, and egos clashed, and they went their separate ways. Similarly, in with the high life, it used to be like African jazz. Like they say, ska music is mostly instrumental of, and it's like Jamaican jazz. You got the reggae beat, cha 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 cha, with instrumental, lots of horns and lots of improvisation. Now, high life music is more of a folk music with a bigger band, and uh, I can't think of an artist right now. I don't wanna mess up our connection, get on the internet, but
No, that's
yeah.
okay. That's okay. You did great. Now another thing I
But
wanted to,
also
I'm sorry, go ahead.
uh Fella was from a high class family. His mother knew Kwame Nkrumah. He has two brothers, and both of them are physicians. Uh, I'm sorry. Fella went to London to study music, so he has this sort of this image of someone of the streets, and he wants to be a person, down for the cause, and he definitely was, and he paid the price. But he came from a middle class background,
Understood. Now,
and he was musically educated. He wasn't,
mhm.
yeah.
Now, you started. When did you start this band? It said as a bassist and composer. You started. I'm sorry, band. You started this orchestra. How did you go about doing that, and why? What prompted you to do that to start the Triangle Afrobeat Orchestra?
Well, I moved to North Carolina from Baltimore, 2010, and slowly was making my way, meeting musicians, and I found throughout my little career that the most interesting things that I do, I start myself. And I've had elders and mentors tell me, you have to, doing art is selfish. You gotta make stuff that makes you happy. And if you do that with some sincerity and some intent, other people will like what you do. So
Understood.
so that's what. So I took the things that I liked. Uh, Grew up in the '70s, loving Stevie Wonder, Earth, Wind and Fire, Miles Davis, Charles Mingus. So it was improv. I wanted to make dance music. I wanted to say something um, that meant something to me, not just you know trying to get paid or get laid. I wanted to say something with some purpose.
Mhm.
Uh, but like with any medicine, a little sugar with it goes helps go down. Like
Mhm.
so if you coat your message with some dance music, it helps get it across. So that's what and I casually listened to Afrobeat, and I thought, well, let me try this.
Mhm.
As simple as that.
Now putting together putting together a group. orchestra, oftentimes from what I hear from other artists, it's kind of like pulling teeth or something. Did you have any trouble getting the people together? I see you have a diverse group here too. Might want to speak about that, how you actually went about it. Was it difficult? And how you got all this diverse people together to help you out or to join in on your
Uh,
project?
well, it's a collective. It's an ongoing process. Everyone has a job and everyone's busy. Uh, so I have a large cast of characters uh, to choose from, and whoever's available, I hope that they can make it. So um, we started in March of 2018. Um, I say we've only been playing 3 years because COVID. Really, that from 2018 to now is 5 years, but we didn't play for 2 years, so
Mhm.
and that was really rough.
You
But
do you do any online concerts where you managed to do that during COVID?
couldn't didn't want to, um, and really, yeah, I didn't want to. Um, I'm a little old school. I like people in the room. The whole thing uh is I want to feel and see and hear the audience reaction. I didn't feel comfortable charging people to watch a YouTube video.
Mm.
So some other people did feel comfortable doing that. But I just my side gig was teaching English online. So I was doing that, and I built a garden with my son here in the backyard, and that helped me stay sane a little bit.
That's what's up.
But yeah, when everything closed down in March 2020, we had gigs until October, and all that went away. And then, yeah, I went into a little of a funk.
Oh man, sorry. As most of the country, perhaps the world.
Yeah,
Now, now
yeah,
that you mentioned shows, where have you been performing, and do you have any upcoming shows? Now that COVID and all that stuff's over,
yeah. It seems like it's over.
seems like
Things
yeah.
are buzzing. Um, Next Friday we have a first Friday here at a town called Hillsborough. That's outside and it's free. Um, we got a Facebook and a YouTube and Instagram where you can contact us.
Mhm.
Um,
The
and then the
center,
next
yeah, you have one. I think it's a Center Square. I think it's a Center Square event.
uh that that is June 10th, the following Saturday, and that is in Greensboro.
Ah.
And that's all for a minute. Then we got something in a town called Black Mountain, North Carolina, in August. Yeah, so things have been bubbling. In April, we had a really nice gig. We worked with some dancers at Duke University for a week and had a lot of fun and got a nice check. So that's all
Oh,
good. Yeah.
that always helps a lot of stuff. Now the people that you work with and stuff, you mentioned checks and stuff. Is that like divvied up amongst all you guys? Because that picture that I seen of your orchestra looks like a
Yeah.
large orchestra. It seems like a lot of cuts you got to make there with that check and stuff, man.
Oh yeah. Well, we're about a dozen or more. Um, I don't. I can go with as little. Excuse me.
Mhm.
I can go with as little as eight, as few as eight. Five in the rhythm section and three horns. That's what that's my bare minimum. But that's the thing. That's the constant fight with the musicians. People love music and they want to hear music, and of course, everybody likes to hear live music. But you don't want to pay for it. And I have a little joke. I just want my band members to be able to buy a tank of gas and a carton of eggs, and that seems really hard these days.
Yeah. Now, is this a sign of the times that's going on? I hear a lot of musicians, on this podcast we interview, a lot of musicians. It seems to be primarily music, but we do a whole bunch of things. But it seems as of late, been talking a lot of musicians. And the complaint that I'm having is the same thing about the pay, the venues, people not purchasing music anymore. Do you think this trend going to continue?
It's probably gonna get worse with the dun,
Uh-oh.
dun, 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 AI coming at you. Um, uh, it seems like the only way to make music these days is to get on the road and play live because you know, I call a CD just a very large business card. You know, I I I personally don't listen to the CDs I get for free. You
Ooh.
know, I'll turn on the YouTube and hear somebody uh concert, but
Yeah, it's
yeah,
more convenient. You're right. It's much more convenient to go
yeah.
online, listen to an MP3 or something like that. Yeah, absolutely. And that's cool you being honest like that too. I'm not going to comment on that one. Chicken.
Yeah, I yeah, it's a bit hypocritical. I sell CDs just because everybody else does, but I give more away than I sell probably.
Understood. Like you said, business cards. This is really
Yeah.
big business cards. That's true. It does sound.
On the one hand, people don't have CD players anymore, and it's rare the people listen to CDs. But if you don't have one, if you have a band and you don't have a CD, people be like, "What y'all been doing? Why don't you have a CD? You don't have a recording?" Well, I
But
got plenty of stuff on YouTube. Yeah,
exactly.
but
They
yeah,
want some kind of physical
yeah,
medium
right.
so they can hold on to.
And you know, the cool kids these days, they're going back to vinyl.
Oh
I
yeah.
I see some shows where they'll have T-shirts and stickers and CDs, and then you know, 10, 12-inch records that are, you know, $40 a piece.
Wow, understood. You know what? Just to plug the show a little bit, we interviewed a guy
Yes.
last summer. He has a 500,000 albums. Whole house just shelved and stuff with albums. And he's talking about the
Wow.
Renaissance, the Renaissance of, the vinyl coming back, like he was mentioning. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it is coming back in a big way. Another thing, I don't know if you went
Yes.
through it, but it seems like a lot of musical artists did. I went through it myself. I was passing out cassette tapes when CDs
Ah,
came out. Have you been there? I'm trying to get
yes.
people
Mm-hmm.
cassettes and they listen
Yeah.
to CDs. So now
Yep.
we passing out CDs and they're somewhere else now.
Yep. A friend of mine told me if you want a cassette player in your car, that's like a luxury. That's a big, you're gonna have to pay for that.
Exactly. But we're gonna try to keep this on short. I know it's like holidays
Okay.
and you're super busy
Right
man.
on.
Now check this out. Is there
Mhm.
anything that we haven't covered that you would like to cover? Because we're getting down to the customary part, where we give the guests the last word, so to speak. But before then,
Okay.
is there anything that we didn't cover? Any plugs you want to get out? Shout outs, some links or something you want to get out, and we'll put them in the description also if necessary.
Um, well, I sent you all my links. Yeah,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
we're on Instagram, Facebook, Bandcamp. You can listen to music for free. But no, it's good. I appreciate the conversation. Yeah. And tell me, where are you located?
Albany, New York.
Oh, right on.
Now, see,
Mm-hmm.
I was born in Wilmington.
Okay.
As I said, my mom's
I
up there in Raleigh. Yeah.
I have a sister who plays violin. She was born in Buffalo.
Oh wow! You see how that
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
a
yeah.
small word, so to speak. Now check this out. Do you have any parting words for us? Some type of last, like it'd be words of wisdom, anything you'd like to leave with us, advice, or something like that. Anything like that you'd like to leave us with?
Oh, I have a Frank Zappa quote I keep in my head. Someone asked him, "What do you do to how do you make it in music?" He said, "You got to do two things: don't stop and keep going."
Oh, I received that. That
Yeah.
is so
So,
much. But Todd, one moment, please. Let me say goodbye to everybody. Everybody, parting is such sweet sorrow. Another end of our YanBar podcast. Once again, Bryan Barcelo here with Vattel Cherry. We thank each and every one of you for joining us. Be sure to check out our previous YanBar podcast guests. And always remember that the YanBar podcast is a place where you make it happen. Peace, everybody. Thank you, Vattel.
peace.
Miss you so
Thank
much,
you.
man.
Peace. Take
All
care,
right.
everybody.
Take care. Later, y'all.